Hey guys, it is currently like 2:36 a.m. while I'm filming this, and yeah, I'm not alone in the room. I have to talk like this. It's like an ASMR thing, so I'm so sorry, but I hope you guys are gonna learn at the end of this. So, I'm still struggling. I'm trying to pick out a title for this. When you feel like shit in filmmaking, when you feel like you don't belong, some things I wish I learned in film school, and what they don't tell you in film school, or actually not necessarily in film school, just being on set. Yeah, by the way, I'm gonna explain real quick why I film at this type of hour. It's actually because during the daytime it's really noisy, a lot of people are in my room, I don't really have any privacy, I don't really get to use my laptop as well, I don't really get to edit. We share computers around here, so basically we have a shift. I use it during the night when they're asleep, so that is the time where I edit and work. My sleep schedule has been fucked up, but okay, let's get started. Okay, some are self-explanatory, but I guess it's just a good reminder, or just to keep this in mind whenever you are in a film set, or whenever you just feel like, honestly, when you feel like shit. Because I felt that for a very long time. I just feel like I don't belong. Okay, first is, whatever it is that you're doing, it's probably a deadline driven type of job. So doesn't matter if it's you, doesn't matter if it's like the producers, the writers, everyone just feels the pressure, so they may act differently with how they treat you, and you don't have to take it personally. Time is money, so let's just say you're working as a PA for this. You can't afford to be late. No one can afford to be late. Whether you're just studying or starting out in the film industry, almost everything is deadline driven, and the pressure is real. Everyone is just as pressured as you. Because it's so deadline driven, they're probably not gonna care about how you feel. Just like trying to get a shoot done, time is money, as I've said. If a shoot has been delayed, of course it's gonna cost money. You have to pay the actors, you have to pay the equipment, you have to pay the logistics, everything. So that's why everything is so deadline driven. You just have to remember that it is a job. Keep in mind that the job comes in first, and being friends comes in later. Or maybe I'm wrong, but that's just me. Third is, just do it. Most probably you'll be put in an uncomfortable situation wherein it is true that you have to get coffee, and let's say they want you to go to Starbucks, and like Starbucks is like 4 blocks away, and you just have to like walk or whatever. You just have to do it. Or if you're lucky enough, they're gonna give you a transportation to go to Starbucks, but most often you just have to find it all by yourself. Especially, I know it's like pretty hot here in the Philippines, you're gonna get all sweaty. That's just the reality of it, and unfortunately you have to be okay with it. Your job is to make their life easier. Number 4 is, train yourself to sleep on command. I have not figured this thing out. I don't know how to sleep on command, but if you can try to train yourself to like sleep whenever you get the opportunity. For example, I'd sleep whenever we are like moving from one location to another. That is the time where I try to get some sleep, because in the industry sleep doesn't really exist. Most of the time it's gonna be like a 24-hour shoot, and I've been to like more than 24 hours, and I'm just trying to keep myself awake. So it's honestly not a healthy industry. I hope that we can change that, or maybe they already did and I have no idea. I'm not up to date with labor thingy, but yeah, most probably it's more than it's like 24 hours or even more. Next is, be that proactive person. Be the first one to volunteer if they need anything, or if someone asks for help. Number 6 is, be nice to everyone even when they're not. I know it's like I keep on repeating this, but it's really important that you should not take this personally. You just have to have a thick skin, and you have to be tough with this industry. Sometimes they may not say nice things, Which brings me to, you can't please everyone and not everyone is your friend. And guess what? That's okay. You'll meet different types of people along the way with actors, with crew, different types of directors, producers, anybody. And for me, you just have to be careful, not just in film, but like in life, of course, because it might go from, you know, them just using you, they're just gonna be using you for your skill. And sometimes it's okay, sometimes you might feel like, I don't know, whatever it is that you're feeling. Maybe you might overshare your ideas and then someone actually might steal your idea. I'm not saying that you have to be selfish, but you do have to be careful, because in this industry, like, a lot of people actually steal someone else's ideas and they do pitch it and they produce it, and then there you go, there goes your idea. So you have to be careful with that. And other motives include them trying to get you into bed with them. That's another topic, but it does happen and you have to be careful. I'm not saying all of them, but it does happen quite often. Next is bring some paper or notepad, a pen and a marker with you, and a whiteboard marker especially. Just bring it. You never know when they're gonna need it and you're gonna be there to save the day. Also, some masking tapes. Next is, you don't wait for an opportunity to knock you. I guess you knock on them. Does that make sense? Man, if you don't have connections in this industry, you have to go out of your comfort zone and make that work for you. Word of mouth helps. That's why it's important to keep your attitude professional and be helpful to them, because they're probably gonna recommend you to other colleagues of them. So just keep that attitude professional and useful for them. Speaking of attitudes, talents and skills, obviously attitude is more important than your skill, because when I went to this job, my first job was actually an editing type of job, or a post-prod rather. I didn't know how to use Adobe Premiere Pro. I used Final Cut Pro. So what I'm trying to say is that you can learn that later on. What's more important is the attitude. So skills can be taught. I'm not good at writing, but I am still learning. It's the attitude, it's that open-mindedness that I'm like, I know to myself that I'm not good at writing, but as I've said, I'm trying to learn. I've been reading, so that really helps. Whether it's attitudes, that it's how you treat people or how you treat yourself, it goes both ways. So be nice to others and be nice to yourself. Which brings me to breathe. Yes, breathe. Because it can be pretty intimidating with the world out there. Most of the time we don't know anyone on set, and sometimes you don't really know what you're doing. Honestly, there was a time when this was my first intern job. I was like, what does PA mean? Because in my head it was like, am I gonna be like a personal assistant or a production assistant? And then I know I pissed this person off, and I'm like, deep inside I'm so humiliated. I'm so sorry. So I guess this is important to my next topic, which is research. Research is really important. Know some of the film jargons before getting on set, or learn about the people whom you're working with, this production. I know usually they don't give you like, they're not gonna give you scripts, they're not gonna baby you, as I've said. So be the one to be proactive and learn about who these people are, and just, it's okay if you don't know anybody or if you don't know them, you can still make some friends. One time I had to assist Cherie Hill. If you don't know who she is, go check her out. But I just really got intimidated by her, and usually she plays the antagonist role, and I got really scared. But she turns out she was pretty nice, and I offered her some coffee and she asked for my name. So little things like that actually, I don't know. Oh, if someone treats you badly, just like remember that feeling and take note of that, and make sure that you're not going to be that person in the future. You don't want to be that, since you know how it feels. Don't fangirl on set, because that's really unprofessional. Or just check the tone of the room if it's okay to like fangirl, take photos, but most of the time as the PA, no, you don't get to do that. And another thing is that as I said, don't take it personally, because there was actually this time when I had this blockmate of mine. She asked for we didn't know that this person was the producer. We asked for some masking tape, and she was like, gave us a lecture about she was the producer. You don't ask her for anything, you go to this person and ask that person. And I'm like, yeah, we're so sorry about that. So as I've said, research is important, or just, you know, kind of like trying to get to know some people there if you can, if you get the chance. So take this as an investment. That's my number 14. This is an investment. Take everything as an opportunity to learn, whether it's a mistake that you've made or someone mistreated you. It's kind of like, it's the experience, you know. Next is learn to listen. Listening is a skill. Honestly, I don't have that skill. I can't process what the people are saying sometimes. For example, like when someone plays, you know, Dungeons and Dragons, right? So basically there's gonna be like a dungeon master. I've watched Big Bang Theory where they play Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about. So listening is a skill. Yeah, I'm just not that type of person, so I wish I can work on this. Yeah, let's work together. Actually, not just listening, like me when I'm trying to read, it's hard for me to comprehend some stuff. So it's yeah, I have to keep on repeatedly read in order for me to understand, because my mind just goes like everywhere. So usually I can't process what the person is trying to say unless I understood it. But usually if it's like complex type of words, usually you lost me. I don't understand what you're saying. So it really is a skill. Or like when someone like asks you to like go to this store, and then after that go do this, do that, and whatever, what I will do is actually record what they are saying, and then whenever I'm like on the go, that's where I'm like, okay, this is what I have to do. So I'm trying to like remember what they said, because I'm not good at it. So yeah, I always will pull out my phone and then hit voice recorder so that I don't miss the instructions. But usually like some people I've worked with would give vague instructions, and then that's where you have to be proactive and ask them what they meant, even though sometimes they're gonna be like maybe pissed off at you. I don't know, but it really happens. So yeah, as I've said, it's an investment. Take that opportunity to learn. Also, it's an investment financially, of course. You're paying for the experience. Basically, if you're in film school, you're paying for the experience. You're paying to like actually make a connection. I guess in film school, persistence is key, even though you feel like you want to give up. Honestly, I've been there like lots of times, and yeah, it just honestly feels like shit. It's like realizing that maybe film is not for me. You know, why am I in here? You're gonna have all those questions, because honestly I went to film school because I thought that I'm gonna make films, I'm gonna be a cinematographer or whatever, and then realizing that there were several classes wherein I'm just like, why did I take this course? It's just not for me. But then, you know, I just had to survive it. And then I remember promising to myself that I won't make scripts or I won't make stories because it was one of my weaknesses. But here I am still writing. You know, I'm still trying to learn, and I think it's hopefully I get to improve on my writing, and yeah, because I suck at it. I remember this class that we have wherein we have to pitch like a TV show, and I'm like I have no idea what TV show I want. It's like I only took up filmmaking because I'm like, I just want to make YouTube videos. But then, you know, it's like, it's the shittiest pitch ever. It's like usually the panel, they're gonna ask you some questions regarding your project, but then mine, when I pitch it, it's like nobody asked, no one was listening. It's like, okay, whatever, next. It's that horrible that they weren't interested. That's why I was like, I give up. I had to pitch in front of the whole class and like 3 panels, and that was just horrifying for me. Like, writer's block, apparently it does not exist, but for me it does, because I'm not really a writer. I'm not a creative person. So yeah, it was really that moment that hit me like I don't want to continue this anymore. I feel like a complete idiot trying to present in front of the class. As I've said, it's pretty tough, and you just have to be persistent. This brings me to my next part, that it's okay to be a late bloomer. Like I said, I never thought of like pitching a TV show for our class, but then here I am, kind of like trying to learn about pitching TV shows and what it's like in the industry. I've been learning more about it, which is odd because I promised myself that I won't ever do this again, yet here I am trying to write my own TV series, even though like it's not gonna happen, but I'm trying, you know. So yeah, I've been working on that. So it's okay to be a late bloomer. It's okay if you don't know what you want, but in a way it's like, I know I want to be in this industry, I know I want to be in film or in TV, even though I don't exactly know what I want, but it does feel like home. It's that bittersweet feeling that I would still come back to, even though I probably don't have a good reputation in this industry, because I know I've done some undesirable things. If is that even a word? But basically, I just don't have that good reputation, so that's why nobody really hires me, or nobody really like comes up to me and be like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. So I understand, that's why I'm doing this, because hopefully one day I get to like finally show to you guys how I have evolved, how I have changed, and I'm sorry for the things that I've done in the past. And which brings me to when you cringe about your past, it's okay, because I feel like, you know, change is constant. You have to, you constantly will evolve. Like, you weren't the person you were a year ago or even months ago. Honestly, for me, I feel like I change every week with this quarantine. I don't feel like myself. It's like every week I'm trying to do different things. You have to work on yourself, you have to keep on improving, and it's okay if you don't feel like it. You just have to take your time. Not everyone is at the same pace, right? I guess it's okay to be depressed. It's okay to be different. I know I don't feel like I belong in this industry, and maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing, but for me, I take it as a good thing. So allow yourself to be different and work around it. It's okay to not know what you want. Just like this script class, or anything really, whenever you're trying to write something, your character must have a goal, right? So that's always been a struggle for me ever since I took up that script class until today. It's like whenever I'm writing, it's like, what's the goal? What is the reason? Sometimes I don't know. I just do it. It's like me. Like, why do I want to be in the industry? I don't know. I just want to be in film or in TV. I want to be involved. It's like sometimes I hate it, but at the end it's rewarding. What is the goal of your character? You have to figure that out. Don't be like me. I don't know what my character's goals are. It's like watching Friends. Like, what is the character's goal? For Ross to be married again? Is that it?
I don't want to be single, okay? I just want to be married again.
Lastly, I guess, no, not lastly, second to last is learn how to appreciate. So as I've said, with all of these things, you just have to research, you just have to take in what you have learned and take that as an experience, even though it pains you. At the end, I hope that you get to appreciate it. Is this recording? What if it was recording the whole time? So yeah, learn to appreciate, and you know, try to do that while you're on set, even though, like, let's say it gets pretty hot. Try to look on the brighter side. I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed. I went to LA. I was able to go to Warner Brothers, and it was honestly it's like the moment that I really cried when I entered Warner Brothers. And then the first thing was like, it was a studio tour. And the first thing that we did was sit inside like their theater, I was watching kind of like their demo reel, and I just cried in the moment. I was like, this is why I took up this course. I want to be involved in this even though I don't know anything. It's like I would gladly be like a PA or whatever. Like I just please let me work in Warner Brothers Studios. My god. Sometimes I think about it so that it fuels me to be inspired again, which brings me to my last advice, which is I hope you keep that spark in you, because lots of things are gonna happen. You're gonna experience lots of maybe traumas or whatever, but whatever it is, don't lose that spark, don't lose that hope. Maybe like keep a reminder to yourself why you took up this course or why you're in film. Just do anything, man. Take it slow, take your time. You don't have to be in a race with everyone, even though it is really a competition out there and pressure is real. Don't forget why you're in film, and don't forget why you started this.
I just had to get out of there, and I started wondering, why am I doing this and who am I doing this for?
Honestly, I don't have friends in film, in my film course, but that's okay. I just want to share a little bit more that I actually, after graduating, I think I might only have like one friend left in the film industry. I would like to apologize for the things that I've done. I don't expect these people to accept my apology, but thank you for being a lesson, and I hope, I don't even know how to end this. I haven't thought about this. I will work on myself, and I don't blame you guys for how you see me. Thank you for the experience. This became dramatic, but yeah, I just think that I just sometimes don't feel like I'm the person to talk about filmmaking when I'm like the shittiest person in class, nor was I wasn't even the smartest. I was literally the shit. I feel like I had to say it, so I really am sorry, and thank you. Oh my gosh, I just want to add one more thing before I go. Nobody is perfect at the beginning. I remember my first film, it was really shitty, and my second thesis film all on my own. There were lots of things, lots of horrible things happened. As I've said, it's take this as an opportunity for you to learn to not do that again, and remind yourself that it's okay, and let yourself breathe, because it's really important that you inhale the experience and let out or exhale the bad parts of it. So it's a process, which I'm not making sense. Sorry, this video is too long. I hope you guys learned.